Hello everybody, I'm Thomas and welcome to another solo playthrough, this time of Turing Machine. I played this recently on one of my solo gaming Sunday streams and had a lot of fun playing it, and it seemed like you all really enjoyed watching it, so I figured I'd do another video. Let's go ahead and just hop right into it. Alright, so I'm going to be using the website again for doing the custom games. Make sure I have the solo mode on. I'm going to be doing standard first again. If I can make it through that, maybe I'll get to a hard problem later. Starting with 4 verifier cards, click and generate, and boom. I will make sure I post this code in the description and in the timestamp, so if any of you want to try this at home, you are more than welcome to. Alright, thanks to the power of editing, everything is all set up, so I'll get this out of here, and we'll get started. I have been playing this game a decent amount since last time I've played it. There's the daily challenges on the site, which I've been playing pretty much every day since my last video when I played this. And one thing I've come to realize after playing this game a fair amount is that the initial deductions before you ask any questions are crucial. And sometimes they're a bit tricky to spot. Sometimes they're really easy. So I'm gonna take a quick second here to try to find the initial deductions. Feel free to try to spot any yourself. I will let you all know what I come up with. All right, did you spot any initial deductions? I think I found 2 small ones. I think it's mainly just with verifier A. I think the only things that we could figure out is just that there's not going to be 3 4s and there won't be 2 4s. With initial deductions, the thing you have to kind of keep in mind with how this game works is that all cards are needed to kind of figure out like the solution, and no cards will make each other obsolete. So if I were to ask verifier A with 3 4s and it came back true, there's no need for card verifier D. So I believe there's only going to be 1 or 0 4s. Besides that, you can't really deduce too much down. With this one, I've made the mistake a few times. I don't think you can really deduce much now. I mean, I think that there's not going to be a triple number, but I think there still could be a double number or there could be repetition. So it's not something I want to completely rule out yet. But I think with this one, at least we can rule out that there's not going to be 2 or 3 4s. So yeah, with that, I think I'm just going to test 1, 2, 3. It's a classic starting number, and it'll test pretty much anything I want. I mean, I'm going to test A, B, and C first. Try to see what I can get, some info right off the bat, and just kind of work from there. Let me move this over a little bit. Okay, so verifier A, how many 4s? This comes back as an X, so there's not 0 4s. So there's probably just 1, but I set that down for a second. So I'm testing 1, 2, 3, and verifier A came back false. So I think there's going to be just 1 4. Sorry if my handwriting's not the best. I laminated my score sheet over here and I use like a dry erase marker just because I play this pretty much every day, so I don't want to like go through a bunch of paper. So yeah, sorry if my handwriting's not the best. Let's test verifier B to see if triangle is the smallest. It is not. So either square or circle is the smallest. So square or circle, smallest. And then let's see if I mean, I want to test, like I said, I don't for sure know D, but C is also a really good one to ask early on, so I feel like I need to ask it. C came back a fail. So they don't add up to less than 6. We know that much. So C to fail. So either triangle plus square equals 6, or triangle plus square is greater than 6. Something like that. Wow, I screwed up my OR. It's so easy to smudge stuff. Okay, so those are my 3 questions for round 1. I don't think I have enough to start really making any useful deductions yet. I mean, I think I need to know at least what's the smallest. I mean, I think I need another full round of questions. Maybe at least 2. I need to know what's the smallest, and maybe if there's repetition. And then with that, I still wouldn't be... I don't think I could figure it out without asking all 3 of these, because I really don't know about the repetition one. And this is for the largest. I've done that before, and I'm glad I just caught that now. This is for the largest, not the smallest. So one of these two, what I do? 1, 2, 3. So circle is not the largest. Okay, hold on. I made a mistake. So it's either triangle or square. Largest. My bad. Glad I caught that. That would have caused major confusion and frustration later on. So, okay. I need to test another code at least. I need to go at least one more round, maybe 2 more questions, if not 3 max. What do I want to test? There's probably got to be a 4, with either triangle or square being the largest. So maybe one of those two being the 4. Maybe not. I don't know. If it's going to equal 6, it could be 3, 3, 4. If there is a double number in there. But if not, then I wouldn't actually be able to narrow down B. If I was wrong, well, I guess I still would be able to. Yeah, I'll try 3, 3, 4. Yeah. Because I could test if it equals 6, what's the largest, and then the repetition. And then I think after that I should know enough. But would any of those help me earlier than others? This one, not really. Let me ask D first, because I'm really kind of curious about this. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this came back true. Came back a check mark. So there is a double number. So we go over to the pad and mark down 3, 3, 4. D came back a check mark. So there is a double number. I'm guessing then, let me get back in the center here. I'm gonna test C. Let's see what happens here. So it doesn't equal 6. Okay, okay. See, I screwed up. See, this is where I screwed up. I guess it doesn't really matter. So what did I just test? I tested this, right? C, and it came back failed. So let me mark that down. Tested C, that's a false. So it's gonna be greater than 6. And then I do wanna test, I guess, one more, but I need to swap out my numbers. It doesn't really matter how many rounds I do, I don't think. It just matters how many questions I ask. So I think I can only ask 2 this round, 1 the next round, and then hopefully make a final deduction with 6. That seems like a lot of questions, but we'll see, I guess. Okay, so for my next code, I think I'm going to test 4, 3, 3 as my final code. I will do 1 test on this, and then hopefully with that have enough information to make a final deduction. So with this, is triangle the largest? Yes or no? Moment of truth. Triangle is not the largest. So B failed, 4, 3, 3. Let me mark that down over here. B failed, so we know that square is the largest. Is largest. I think it's 3, 4, 3. Because 3, 4, 3, 3 and 4, that's more than 6. Square is the largest. There's 1, 4, and there's a double number. 3, 4, 3. I think that's it. Let's see if I am in any way correct. Get my iPad over here. Machine 3, 4, 3. Verify. I got it. Well, maybe. I do the enter the round. So that. I also didn't realize, I don't know if I was doing this last time. I didn't know you could actually like mark these differently. Not that it really matters, but it just matters how many you ask. So do that and that. Whoops. And then 1 down there. Right? So I asked 3, 2, and then 1. Yeah, let's see if I did it quick enough. The machine beats me. It beat me by 1 question. That's a shame. Well, I was right in the code though, so that at least makes me feel better. So let me go ahead, tear this down, and I will start setting up this one. All right, and through the power of editing, everything is now magically set up. So yeah, let's zoom in here and try to see if there's any initial deductions to be made. Okay, so I only think I see one small deduction here that can be made right off the bat. I think that yellow cannot be greater than 4 because the only thing greater than 4 in this game is 5. And if yellow was 5, there would be no need for this card because you would know which is the largest. So I think yellow just can't be 5. So I'll probably have it be 1, 2, or 3 when I guess that. Besides that, I don't think there's any other initial deductions to be made. So yeah, I just need to pick a number. I might just go with 1, 2, 3 again. It's a classic starting code, but it works because I need something less than 4 for that. I just need a different number so I can test this. And then I do like testing if it's less than 6, usually first. I don't really think it matters. So let me grab these and give this a whirl. Whoops, that is not the right number. So 1, 2, 3, let me write this down right there. And then go to the center, start testing some stuff. So test A, see if this comes back a check mark. So that's something. So over here on the pad, we know that it's at least not 4. Oops, that is not the right, it's not the right shape. We know that square is not going to be 4, and I'm saying it can't be 5. So that was my little initial deduction earlier. Let me get these a little bit more lined up. Okay, so B is circle the greatest. Circle is the greatest. That's a nice first guess, so I don't have to ask that again. So let's see, A came back false. Or no, A came back true. Because it has to be less than 4. And then B is false. So A is less than 4. And then circle is the largest. Cool. So that's what is known so far. I guess then it might be good to see the sum of triangle and square compared to 6. Well, hold on. Well, I guess, yeah, it's still good to know. I mean, we know that square is either pretty much going to be 3, 2, or 1. That doesn't narrow anything down because you could still add 3 to 5 and it's over 6, or 3 to 1 and now it's only 4. So I don't think that narrows anything down yet. So we'll see. With this all lined up in the center as an X. So triangle plus square is either going to equal 6 or it's going to be greater than 6. So that was test C, which failed. So yeah, triangle plus square equals 6, or triangle plus square is greater than 6. One of those two, don't know which one yet. Hopefully we'll know pretty shortly. So it seems like I should really try to shoot for getting this in 5 questions if possible. Considering the fact that I already know this one and this one, that sets me off in a pretty good position. I'll probably ask these two next and hope this one comes back. I don't know. I don't think it can be triple number. Because if this was triple number, then we would know it's all 4s because of this one. So I actually don't think that could be a thing. I'm going to assume that also, I guess. I don't think that could be a triple number. Okay, I'm going to test 425 and see if that comes back with anything good. I don't know if it will. Well, I think the main thing I need to test is C. And then I shall know. So I write down 425. And with that, let's first off see, does it equal 6? Yes or no? It does equal 6. So I think 425 might be the code then. Yeah, so triangle plus square equals 6. Because the reason I say that is we know that circle is the largest. I guess I need to know if there's any repetition or not, because I haven't asked that. So that was C. That came back true. And then let's go ahead and test. Do I need to test D? That's the real question, because I don't think it could be a triple. If it was a double number, yeah, I think I need to test this real quick to make sure. If the machine gets it in 4, I'm gonna be a little upset. So that came back a check mark. So D came back a check mark, so there is no repetition. And I think with that, I mean, that's all I can ask. I know the answer to all 4 verifiers at this point. I think it is 425, because if it has to equal 6, then there's only, I guess it could be, well then if circle has to be the largest, if circle has to be the largest, then it has to be 5. And that means that triangle and square still have to add up to 6. So that means it has to be 4 and 2. It can't be 3 and 3 because there's no repetition. And I think from that on, that should be it. So 425. Let's see if I'm right. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Let's go in the center here this time. So machine 425, verify. Awesome. So there was 2 rounds. I got that one correct. And then I did C and D. I beat the machine. It took 6 questions. Only took me 5. That's a win. Cool. So now I guess I'll just do solo standard 5 cards. Boom. All right, and everything is now set up. And yeah, actually let me zoom back into this part so you can see this a bit better to try to make any initial deductions. Okay, did you find any initial deductions? There's a few more with this. As you're adding more cards, there's definitely gonna be more initial deductions to be made. And specifically this card over here, this not causes a lot of problems, but you can narrow it down a lot with whenever you see this card popping out. So with the order, pretty much I'll just say that the deduction I've made is it's no order. It's not ascending or descending. So we have this card again, once again, because this card is also out here, then we know this cannot be 5, because if that was the greatest, then it would make, well, maybe not. This one actually, because this is testing the smallest this time. So I take that back. I think this one actually still could be 5, but I think we still know there's got to be no order, because if this was ascending, then we wouldn't need this, or if it was descending, we wouldn't need this. So yeah, so it's no order. We don't know what the smallest is. So I think that's the only thing you can really deduce, at least that I could find. Let me know if you find any other crazy deductions that I missed. But yeah, I think it's just, we know there's no order. We don't know what the smallest is. We don't know what yellow is. And yeah, we don't, yeah. This one will be interesting. I want to ask this first round because this provides a lot of info. So that's one thing I want to make sure to ask right off the bat. I think I'll ask A, B, and C first, and then, I mean, I want to ask that one, but I don't. Yeah, I still think this could possibly be 5. I don't want to rule that out yet, but I'm still pretty confident in saying that at least there's no order. So I think I'll still test. Do I test 1, 2, 3? Do I test that every time? It's not a bad code to test. There might be better, but I want to test this if it's less. I need them to be different so we can see what the smallest is. And then I need just to test this once to know if the sum is even or odd. So let me do 1, 2, 3. It's a classic. It's basic, but it's a good code to test. So let me write that down over here. And we'll go ahead and test verifier A to see what comes back. If I can not mess up my entire thing. That is a fail. So does square equal? I guess we don't know. We don't know. It's either 4 or 5, but we know it's not less than 4. So that's good. A failed. So square either equals 4 or, I guess you didn't see that, square is greater than 4. Just writing that down over here, and I'll go ahead and mark off 3, 2, and 1. So we know it's not those, and just start slowly narrowing stuff down. So that was verifier A. Well, let's go ahead and test verifier B. This one came back a check mark, which is good. It means I don't have to test a lot of times. And we know that triangle is the smallest. So mark that down over here. So verifier B is true. So we know that triangle is smallest. Cool. Yeah, finally we'll test verifier C. So this comes back as a check. So that means, yeah, the total is going to be even. And that is really good to know, especially early on. So what sum equals even is what I'm writing down that you can't see. There we go. So I wrote that down. Let me put these cards away, and then I need to think on this for a second, because there might be a decent amount I can figure out with just this info. I mean, I'm pretty sure I still need to ask D at some point, but let me see what I can kind of piece together with this. So I think it's 142. I'm going to do some more checking before that, but I've just been thinking about it here for a second, and because it has to be no order, triangle has to be the smallest, sum has to be even. So we know this is going to be 4 or 5, and I was looking around, and if this is 4, there's only one solution in which the total of triangle and square is less than 6, and that's 4 and 1. Once you add those up, you're at 5, right? So you're less than 6, boom. That's the only combination of triangle and square that could be less than 6, and then you're chilling at 5, right? Triangle has to be the smallest, so circle can't be 1 in that case, but it still has to be even. So it can't be 2, so I think it has to be 3, so 143. Seems legit. Okay, let me see, 143. I'm going to test it at least once. There's no way the machine, I don't think I've ever seen the machine get it in just 3. So I think I'm safe to at least ask another question. What would narrow it down more? If I asked A or D? I think I'm going to go with D, but A would also let me know a lot. But if this tells me it's less than 6, then it straight up tells me the answer. So 1 and 4, yeah, that came back a check mark. So that's what I assumed. So it has to be less than 6. So I think I was correct in my assumption. So what, that was D, 143, let me mark that down, and that came back, check mark. That means that triangle plus square is less than 6. I mean, okay. I mean, I think that's it then, because if it's less than 6, if this has to be 4 or 5, then there's only one solution that is less than 6, that's 4 and 1. And that puts me at 5, and I need the answer to be even. So that means 4 and 1, we're sitting at an odd number, so I have to add an odd number. It can't be 1 because triangle has to be the smallest, so 143. Seems legit. Let's see if I'm right. Grab the iPad here. Machine 143 verify. That was the correct code. There's no way the machine beat me. I would be shocked if it somehow got it in like 3. I don't think I've ever seen that before. We tied. Okay, they did it in 4, so that's another win. Cool. I'm doing a little bit better than I did last time. So let me go ahead. Oh, the orientation's a little weird. Okay, there we go. So do another custom game, standard, and this time, or no, we'll do co-op, standard, 6 cards, and see how this goes. So once again, I will post this in the timestamp / description for the game code if you want to try it yourselves. All right, and everything is all set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause here for a second to try to come up with some initial deductions. With 6 verifiers, there's a lot better chance that there being some. I imagine there's at least a few in here, but let's see what I can come up with and see if you can come up with any initial deductions as well. So I think this looks pretty similar to the ones we just did. I'm actually, surprisingly, for seeing how many verifier cards are out here, I'm not seeing too many initial deductions. So, I mean, I think there just can't be 3 4s because of this. There's not a triple number because of this. You know, those kind of cancel each other out with those things. I also don't think there could be a double. I don't think there could be 2 4s, but I think there still could be a double number. I think that's a one-way street there. So I think there's either 0 or 1, 4. Yeah, we don't, this, I can't deduce much, this I can't deduce. So I think that's it. Surprisingly, I don't think there's too many initial deductions here. So especially with since we don't have the order, you know, if it's ascending or descending, that usually eliminates a lot. So this means there probably is going to be a lot of questions to ask. This isn't going to be a shorter one. So let's just start guessing some stuff. Just do the classic 1, 2, 3. Mainly because, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything better to start with. And that seems like a pretty fine place to start, I guess. I want to know, you know, is square odd or even? Square's even. Okay, so A passed. Let me mark that down over here. Whoops, got the pad way up there. So 1, 2, 3. A passed. So we know that square is even. So we just know it's either 2 or 4. Just some, I don't know, good information to have right off the bat, I guess. I get these a little bit more lined up. So let's go ahead and test. Let's test B. See how many 4s there are. So there is at least 1 4. I think there's probably exactly 1 4 is my guess. So let me mark that down over here. So B failed. So there's not. So there's at least 1 4. Could there be 2 4s? That's the thing I need to try to think. If there was 2 4s, that would make that. So I don't think there can be 2 4s. So I think there's just. I think there's just 1 4. We'll see if I'm correct in that assumption or not. And then let's go ahead. I mean, there's a lot of these I want to know. There's too many cards, not enough time. This would be good one. Sorry, you can't even see me pointing. C would be good to know. D, I only need to ask once, but I don't think it's really going to help me out right now. Well, I know the square is going to be even. So there's either going to be, yeah, that's not going to help me out too much. I'm going to ask C. Hopefully I get some good info. Ooh, so we know that square is less than circle. Cool. Very good to know. I marked that down over here. So C came back true. It's a pass. So square is less than circle. Interesting, because we know square is 2 or 4. Square is less than circle. So that means circle definitely can't be 1. Because circle has to be greater than square. Okay, that's something. Yeah, those are my 3 questions for this round. So I go ahead and put these back up here, and then let me think real quick on if there's anything I can deduce from what I've gotten so far. I'm gonna test 5, 4, 5 because I want to know if there's repetition. There's got to be at least 1 4. What else? Square is less than circle, so that checks out. So everything I know, 5, 4, 5 would check out. So let me see what kind of info I can gain from this and hopefully get some answers here. So 1, 4, I think we got that. I don't think that needs to be tested again. I do want to know a couple of things. I guess mainly everything over here, because I pretty much know A, B. I do know C. So then I just need to test. Let's test F first. Sure. This came back as a fail, so there is no repeating numbers. There's no double numbers. All right, it's good to know. Good to know. So there's no repeat. Okay. So what else? Test E, I guess? So I really want to know. Okay. So triangle plus square will be more than 6. That's good to know. So which one is that? D, E, that came back true. So we know that triangle plus square is greater than 6. I'm also gonna mark this down. We know that that is less than that. Cool. Yeah, I think I need to. I was trying to think for a second. This might come back to bite me, but I think I need to test D because I can't really make heads or tails of this without it. So let's see. Okay, there is more odd than even. So mark that down over here. That this D passed, so we know there's more odd than even. I think with that, I mean, I know the answer to everything, so I should be able to narrow it down, hopefully. So I'm trying to think this through. So the fact that there's 1 4, but we know that there's more odd than even, means there's 2 evens and there's 2 odds, only 1 even. We know there's a 4, so it has to be that the even is 4. Since square can only be even, I think that means square has to be the 4. Now, where I'm not struggling, but I'm trying to deduce, okay, if that's 4, then we know it has to be greater than 6 with triangle and square, so we know it can't be that or that. There's no duplicates, so it can't be 4. Neither of those can be 4. So then what? So then I think it's just as simple as looking at hint C, verifier C, and knowing that square has to be less than circle. So if square has to be 4, then that means circle has to be 5. And there has to be another odd number, so that means it's 3. I think the answer is 3, 4, 5. I feel pretty confident in the answer. I don't feel confident in the amount of time it took me to get there. So we'll see if the machine beat me or not. But 3, 4, 5 seems like a good answer to me. 3, 4, 5. Verify it was correct. I feel good about that. Do this. Add around. Check, check. Fail. Did I do it in enough moves? I did. There we go. That is a win. They did it in 7 questions. Well, they're a chump. No, I'm just joking. That was a really fun one, though. So there you go. That was Turing Machine Solo. Managed to beat the standard this time. I had a lot of fun playing this. I really enjoy this game. I play the daily challenges like pretty much every day. I post about them on BGG. There's like a forum that I've started, a thread. So I'll post that down in the comments if any of you have the game and want to hop on the daily challenge. That would be really cool. But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this today. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comments if you want to see more Turing Machine, if I made a mistake, if there was an initial deduction I missed, please let me know in the comments. I love talking to y'all about this game and just in general. So yeah, until next time, thank you so much for watching.